Quotes from John Wesley. From the Kindle, Deep Christian Quotes and Bible Verses. First quote. Of all the knowledge that we can ever obtain, the knowledge of God, and the knowledge of ourselves, are the most important. Second quote. God's purpose for my life was that I have a passion for God's glory, and that I have a passion for my joy in that glory, and that these two are one passion. Third quote. Seek not to grow in knowledge chiefly for the sake of applause, and to enable you to dispute with others, but seek it for the benefit of your souls. Fourth quote. The happiness of the creature consists in rejoicing in God, by which also God is magnified and exalted. Fifth quote. Resolved to study the Scriptures so steadily, constantly and frequently, as that I may find, and plainly perceive myself to grow in the knowledge of the same. Sixth quote. He that has doctrinal knowledge and speculation only without affection, never is engaged in the business of religion. Seventh quote. God is the highest good of the reasonable creature. The enjoyment of Him is our proper, and is the only happiness with which our souls can be satisfied. To go to heaven, fully to enjoy God, is infinitely better than the most pleasant accommodations here. Better than fathers and mothers, husbands, wives, or children, or the company of any, or all earthly friends. These are but shadows, but the enjoyment of God is the substance. These are but scattered beams, but God is the sun. These are but streams, but God is the fountain. These are but drops, but God is the ocean. Eighth quote. A truly humble man is sensible of his natural distance from God, of his dependence on Him, of the insufficiency of his own power and wisdom, and that it is by God's power that he is upheld and provided for, and that he needs God's wisdom to lead and guide him, and His might, to enable him to do what he ought to do for Him. Ninth quote. A tree says, a kernel is hidden in me, a spark, a thought, I am life from eternal life. The attempt and the risk that the Eternal Mother took with me is unique. Unique the form and veins of my skin, unique the smallest play of leaves in my branches and the smallest scar on my bark. I was made to form and reveal the eternal in my smallest special detail. 10th quote. Consider that as a principle of love is the main principle in the heart of a real Christian. So the labor of love is the main business of the Christian life. 11th quote. There are two sorts of hypocrites, ones that are deceived with their outward morality and external religion, and the others are those that are deceived with false discoveries and elevation. 13th quote. True liberty consists only in the power of doing what we ought to will, and in not being constrained to do what we ought not to will. 14th quote. Who will deny that true religion consists, in a great measure, in vigorous and lively actings of the inclination and will of the soul, or the fervent exercises of the heart? That religion which God requires, and will accept, does not consist in weak, dull, and lifeless wishes, raising us but a little above a state of indifference. 15th quote. I claim no right to myself, no right to this understanding, this will, these affections that are in me. Neither do I have any right to this body or its members, no right to this tongue, to these hands, feet, ears or eyes. I have given myself clear away and not retained anything of my own. Thanks.